Hello.
It's working.
Is it?
Yeah.
No. Wow, I can't.
Louder.
Just a good voice. Go Mike.
All right. Good evening. Am I audible back there?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. It must be the disco ball. Yeah, my heart is so full with the presence of all of you here. My name is Sarah, and myself and Derek will be hosting tonight on behalf of Broke and a bunch of other organizations, which I'll list in a minute. But first, I wanted to welcome up Ruben George to start us with a prayer. So good, yeah. Woo! Or whatever you want to, however you want to start, Ruben.
Turn off my phone. My mom always calls just when I'm going up for something. When I tell her I do that talking, she goes, "On your mom." Well, welcome to the traditional territory of backyard of the Tsleil-Waututh. We have tons of legends and stories right around here. The water right here is our first mother. I was getting so conscious of it.
You're good.
Okay, good. And the water right here is our first mother. As the story goes, a man was lonely and prayed for a wife and swam through the water and came out and full of sleep, and then he had a wife, and that was the first female. So there's a lot of legends and stories right here. This is our backyard. We have overlap of territory along here with Squamish, where my dad's from, and Musqueam, where a lot of good relations from there. About this fight, 12 years now, Cedar is like, when we started, he was shorter than us all. I was taller than us all. It didn't give me much time to make a decision. I was the director of community development, overseeing all the social and educational needs of Tsleil-Waututh people in the surrounding area. And they came in and they said, "We want you to lead the TMX fight," or back then the Kinder Morgan fight. And I said, "Well, can I think about it till tomorrow?" And they said, "No, you got 2 hours." I said, "Why?" So I talked to Cedar and Kaya really quick, and they were little. And I told them, I said, it's going to be hard. It's going to be long hours. It's going to take a lot of time, probably a lot of travel. I don't know what it's going to be like. And they're really great because they said, "No, go do it, Dad." They said, "Daddy, we can do it." And it's sure evident because they're both just doing it. They're doing it. And the first time in 12 years that I feel like I can sit back and let these guys lead. All these youth are just beautiful and amazing, and I'm so proud of them. And it's good to have this new energy to come in to wake up people. In our culture, things are real simple, and we simplified it. And it's along the same lines of any religious or any spiritual belief. With the fundamentals of humanity, I keep talking about into love, honor, respect, dignity, pride, compassion, understanding, truth, knowledge. Those are fundamental belief are the fundamentals of humanity. My grandfather used to talk about, and we apply those to our being. In one way that I follow is the Lakota way, and they have a medicine wheel. We have 4 points of our longhouse, but it's the same thing. We're physical, we're spiritual, we're mental, and we're emotional. That's what we are. That's what we are. And then in prayer, we use like any other, and I was lucky because I like Cedar, I prayed all over the world in different ways. And I go pray if anyone invites me. And they use the same things to honor the things that we need to live and to survive. They use the energy of the sun by using fire, having that represent the energy of the sun or the core of Mother Earth. They use something to represent air. That's what we breathe, you know, we are oxygen. And then they use something in water, and they use something from earth. Every single ceremony. And they, you know, wouldn't even speak English, but I knew what was going on because that's what we do. That's what we do. We use those same things. But what's evident, what's perplexing is that what I think of is when we start to use those things, we start to see and recognize that those things carry a spirit. And in our language, we say Natsaman. That's one heart, one mind, one prayer, and one spirit. That we're all interconnected. And if you look at, I was watching I wanted to Google how many universes there are. There's more universes than there are grains of sand on Earth, times 10. Holy smokes. But it blew my mind away because everything in the farthest universe is made up of the same things that's inside of our own body. So for real, we are all interconnected. And what I was thinking of that, and then I was thinking, you know, look at the society we live in today that is so close-minded to creating something, to be connected to something, because we all love something. I believe we're all here because we love something, and we love the water, we love our air, we can breathe, we love our life, and we want to live. At the rate we're going now, it's not going to happen. I don't like Elon Musk anymore. I really did, but when he went back, he changed. I read his book, and I started really liking him. But he talked about how, you know, it was like this, sort of a pyramid about, you know, we're born and we die, and the population never really sustained over 1 billion people. And now the pyramid is reversed, and it's like this now, and it's going to eventually topple. And he thinks 12 years, and it makes so much sense to me. I was like, oh no. But the prophecies say that I hear all over the world that we have a chance. And I look at all the nationalities here, we have a chance. They say we have to unite, we have to fix it. We have to fix it. And I think one of the ways is waking people up. And it's weird. I don't know about you, but I was just thinking about this. And during COVID, I think people fell asleep more because we're stuck at home. People are more on their iPads and more, and I'm guilty of that too. But I think they're stuck more and they need to be waking up. And I think that's where these youth come in, because they're waking people up. You have to wake them up. And my grandfather, Chief Cedar George, he used to like come in and do speech, and he'd punch them and yell and get people awake. And I see these guys doing that, these young people, because we need that. We need people to see, to recognize that Mother Earth is going to outlive us. Whatever we do to her, she's going to regenerate, and she's going to be all beautiful again. It's us that are screwed. And you know, in the titles that they put on us, even when you guys go to court for protecting what you love, they charge you and they put you to jail. That's crazy. And the titles that they give you is ridiculous. I heard my brother stand up when they're doing that to Will, and he said, everyone's saying, shame, shame, and he was racist. Who said that? I did. And he told her, he said, you'll never, ever get our way of life that's talking about the connection to our mother right there. That's why we do something about it. That's why we want to create change for a better future. They're so blind. Even the people who own these companies, I met him. Richard Kinder Morgan, I shook his hand. It's cold and clammy, just like how you imagine. He's up the energy, just like how you imagine. No life in his eyes, just oblivious. You know, if somebody hurt my son, I'd get mad and I'd stand up and I'd yell and I'd freak out. When I threatened his money, he stood up. He started yelling because that's what he cared about. He did. I said, you know what? He goes, Ruben, we're trying to talk to you. Tsleil-Waututh. I said, I'm not talking to you. You're a company, that's all you are. We're suing Canada for not talking to us because it's nation and nation. You're just a company. Get out! He yells at me, get out! Go talk to Canada. I turned to shareholders and I said, you know, he's mad because I'm right. If I was wrong, he wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But you guys are business people, and I like saying this. Their stock fell by 65%, $365 billion company. Their dividends were cut by 74% 3 months of the day that we spoke there. They listened, and they're listening to you because it's still not built. 12 years, congratulations. You got it. Oh. You know, we're talking about 12 years ago, October, we had that town hall meeting with you guys. You know, the first town hall Ben West and I had, remember Ben West? 12 people showed up. But it got to the degree, and I think we have to do this again. It got to the degree that 71% of Burnaby residents here supported the Tsleil-Waututh Nation and sue in Canada about TMX because they felt it was wrong.
Yeah.
From 12 people, we showed up and we're like, oh, shoot, man. It's like, well, let's do a little circle. We did that, and we did that, and we don't give up. And I'll tell you this, you know, whether people know it or not, we work with our spirit. And it's simple. It's simple. If you believe in a goal with everything that you have, if you believe in it so much mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically of your being, if you believe in it so much, eventually your spirit's going to believe in it and make your path to your goal easier. There's still work involved, but it's going to make it easier. And that's what you're doing. I believe that's what you're doing. And that's what we got to continue to do. We got to continue because it's brutal. It's not the new norm, these floods and these fires. It's going to get way worse.
Yeah.
It's going to get way worse. And things are going to change when they start taking money out of the social programs to try to fix things. But I tell you, they're still not going to tax the rich. They're still not going to. Remember Trump? I got hypnotized by the smartest thing the Republicans did is get the biggest, loudest buffoon in there to distract everyone from all the real crap they're doing.
Yeah.
But he was talking, and Hillary Clinton goes, "Tell us how much tax did you pay? You paid $500. Why did you do that?" Because I'm smart. And people sucked that in, and they still voted for him. I was like, holy smokes, you guys are screwed. You're screwed. You know, the biggest population that votes for Trump was old white men.
Not surprised.
And then the biggest recipient for welfare in the States was old white men. But they still vote for him. And he's screwing them. He's screwing them. Oh, it's crazy. But I give up on Americans, so I'm going to work on the Canadians and see if we can join. I love my real dysfunctional cousins. We still love them, but they're a little bit dysfunctional, right? And no, we love them. Sorry, America. But you know, we are. You're my son's part of America. He was born. I was Canadian. Watch when he says A, listen. But that's, I think, what we have to deal with. But one thing I do believe is, yeah, maybe some people got more blind, but the partner there, she teaches at a college people to be therapists, and all our students are busy. And if they want self-healing, maybe they'll see something, the trees or the water or something. Maybe they'll see something, and then that's when we can teach them. Each and every one of you can teach them. And the other thing too is, my mom would always call me and they say, oh, they're saying horrible things about you on the news feed, on the news that you're on. I was like, okay, well, I'm a big Indian, okay, whatever, you know, but I choose not to be bothered. Just like when we went to Kinder Morgan AGM and like my son went to give Trudeau heck. We don't have time to, there is no tomorrow for some around the world with this climate change. There isn't. Fiji and Panama, a friend of ours, they're killing them. Haidawai, Chief Pujo is going to adopt the Chief Inawa's wife and son, because they want to end his lineage by killing his 7-month-old baby and his wife. So they're going to put him in Haidawai, and the Haidawai is going to protect him, Chief of Council. They adopted him, but his protecting, that's why. There is no tomorrow. But here, you know, that's what I believe is when I went into that Kinder Morgan building, or when we're the First Nation in Canada to be known as cabinet, I gave it to them. Our lawyer texted the chief and said, "Let Ruben give it to him." She looks at me, "You want to speak?" I said, "Yeah, I want to speak." Like, give him heck. And then, I don't have time to be nervous. I need my wits with me, and that's what I pray for. And neither do you. Have your wits with you, and have your spirit project how things should be, and don't have fear. Don't have fear. Each and every one of you are representing all of us on earth. And we need that. Because look what we're up against. We're talking about algorithms and media, and they're all sucked in. They're part of it. They're part of it. But we can create change, and we have for the last 12 years, and we're going to still stop that damn pipeline. So thank you very much. Me and Cedar are making 100, and Stacy are going to make 70 drums on Thursday, and I still have to do a lot of work. But I will mention Olivia. She's my partner. She's doing the Burnaby Mountain Festival. She's going to have another event pretty soon that she'd love to have you guys to be part of. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ruben, for coming and sharing your words with us. I know that you've been leading this struggle in so many ways for so many years, and I can't believe you're still at it. I mean, I can believe it because you have that passion in your heart and your lineage, and you're connected, and yeah. So just thank you so much. And, yeah, it's meant so much. I just need to say one more thing, which is that in 2018, Ruben led pipe ceremonies up in the mountain, and that was part of what has brought me to be able to do this work. It's the healing that and the open arms that the community has continued to offer us. So thank you so much. Yeah. So in terms of the flow of the night, we have about seven more speakers to share with you, some youth, and then also some folks from Burnaby residents opposed to Kinder Morgan expansion, now Trans Mountain. So we're going to hit you with a mix of inspiration and youth, and also some facts. Yeah, and I'd like to invite up next Lucy Everett, who's brave enough to go next after Ruben. Lucy, what can I say about you? Lucy is an amazing organizer, has a background in economics from McGill, and yeah, is really a huge part of the youth movement right now. So yeah, thank you so much, Lucy.
Start by thanking Ruben for those opening words, those beautiful opening words. I'm not sure where he went. He's left already, but yeah, my name is Lucy. I'm 23 years old, she, her pronouns. I'm Red River Métis, Treaty 1 territory, through my paternal grandmother. I'm also British, Scottish, and Mennonite. Let me start by saying that there are so many reasons to be opposed to this pipeline. It's not possible to cover all of them in a short speech. So for time's sake, I'm going to kind of narrow into two aspects here, the climate change piece and the finances piece, but those are not the only two reasons to be opposed to this pipeline, right? In December, I graduated from McGill University with a first-class honors degree in environmental studies. That wasn't what I started out in, though. 2 years into my degree, I switched degrees, I switched programs because the IPCC report had just come out. I was 19 years old, and I was terrified. I was terrified. In that moment, I thought nothing else that I could do with my life but to dedicate my life towards this fight of slowing climate change. Let me also emphasize that climate change is not limited to global warming. There's the biodiversity crisis, there's the food crisis, there's the water crisis. All of these compound each other as well. But again, for time's sake, I'm going to focus on rising global emissions, particularly carbon dioxide, which is what something like TMX is contributing to. So when that 2018 IPCC report came out, it basically said, long story short, we have 1 decade to halve global emissions, or we will essentially face the collapse of human civilization as we know it, right? And when we think about global warming, 1.5 degrees Celsius, what does that mean? What does that feel like? To me, that's really intangible and abstract. I can't really wrap my head around that, but we can wrap our head around the wildfires last summer. We can wrap our head around the fact that last summer, 600 people died in the deadliest weather event that we have seen in this province. And like Ruben said, this is just the beginning, right? Global warming causes food shortages from droughts around the world, which means that people are going to starve. It causes lakes to dry up. People are going to have to move. The United Nations estimates that there will be 1 billion climate refugees by 2050. This is in my lifetime. This is in my lifetime. The United Nations Secretary General recently said that it is not climate activists that are the dangerous radicals, but rather the states and corporations that continue to build fossil fuel infrastructure in spite of this knowledge, of the human suffering that is going to be caused by climate change. So this is what we're up against. And it's going to get worse. Even if we stopped emissions today, it is going to get worse before it gets better. But we're not stopping emissions. We're still building projects like this. This is going to increase the barrels per day from 300,000 to 900,000 per day, in spite of the knowledge of human suffering that is caused by projects like this. Shame. So I thought it was bad when I read the IPCC report and I thought I needed to switch majors. And then I switched majors and I started actually studying this full time, and it got worse. It got worse. To learn about the drought and the suffering that is going to be caused by this. The people that are going to have to move. Those who can't afford to move, what happens to them? Right? It was hard to deal with. It was hard to deal with being immersed in that study full time. And so, like many other people my age that I know who are completely overwhelmed by the state of the world, I turned to substances. My friends and I would look each other in the eyes, and we would be pouring our 8th glass of wine, knowing damn well we shouldn't. And we would say things literally like, the world is burning anyways. Yeah. What else are we supposed to do? So that's what people my age are dealing with. I've been 7 months sober.
Yeah, girl.
I needed my wits about me to fight this fight.
Yeah.
This takes everything that we have. And a better world is possible. A better world is possible. People my age do not have to live in despair, thinking about what our future is going to be like. We shouldn't have to. We have the right to not be immersed in despair every moment with the knowledge of what is to come. I am only 23. People my age deserve better. The next generation deserves better than this. And this is a public project. This is public money going into this project. This is taxpayer dollars. This is our money that is funding this. $30 billion of it. Billion. I can't even wrap my head around what $1 billion looks like. That number to me is incomprehensible. Like 1 million, I can maybe wrap my head around. $1 billion, it's beyond my comprehension. $30 billion into one pipeline? Given the knowledge of how much suffering projects like this are going to cause, is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And because it's public money, we as the public are the shareholders for this project. We are the ones that are responsible for holding our government accountable for the decisions it is making for this project. And there are so many things that our communities need money invested in.
Yeah,
And whenever we ask for those things, what are we told?
there's not enough money.
We can't afford it, exactly. Right? The switch to renewable energy is just one thing that needs a massive public investment. Clean water on First Nations reserves.
Yeah.
Mental health care being covered. The downtown east side and the opioid epidemic. More physicians. Better public transit. Free education. The list goes on, right? We can keep going. You get the point. But whenever we ask for these things, we're told there's not money, and yet there is $30 billion going into this project. There is the money. This is a choice. Make no mistake that this is a choice that is being made. And it is a choice that is jeopardizing all of our lives with the local risks from the spills in the watershed to the orcas. But it is a risk to our entire collective future as well, because of what projects like this represent, given the climate crisis. And so, it's up to us to fight for that reinvestment. There's no more economic argument for this pipeline. Even the conservatives kind of understand that, right? Normally you hear, well, we need it for the economy when it comes to these types of projects. You're not really hearing this with this project anymore, because even the PBO is saying it's not profitable. That's called a sunk cost. That is called a sunk cost. And what do you do when you have a sunk cost? You pull out. You don't keep investing. You don't put more money into it. But that's what our government is doing with our money. So a better world is possible for all of us, but especially for the young people in this room who are going to be dealing with the repercussions of this for the rest of our lives. But we can't wait for that better, someone else to hand us that better world on a silver platter. We need to fight for it. We need to create it. If we are waiting for somebody else to create that better world for us, we've already lost that fight. It is up to us to create that better world with every single step that we take by whatever means necessary. It is up to us. We can and we must fight for that better world, because it is quite literally our survival that is at stake. And given the stakes, given those stakes, given what is at risk, we will fight to stop projects like this and to create a better world while we do it by whatever means necessary. So please join us. Thank
We are unstoppable. A better world is possible. We are unstoppable. A better world is possible. We are unstoppable. A better world is possible.
telling us, I think that is the key line, right? Thank you for the chant at the end too. A better world is possible. There is so much more we can do, and we're missing out with our current government's inaction or inappropriate action on this pipeline. I'm Derek Sahota. I am a labor advocate for the Teaching Support Staff Union, and my background so is in the labor movement. And actually, I also changed careers a bit too. I started out in engineering, so something about needing to fight back against a broken system in the working world. And so I think that's also an important perspective that we want to hear from as well, is that we all have lives as workers as well in this economy that we're in. And that's a critical and important part of our lives. And also, the work that we do, it should impact on the world, and workers shouldn't have to be faced with destroying their planet as put a daily job. And so our next speaker that I want to bring up is Steve Brownwell, who is from Burnaby residents opposed to kinder expansion, and he is a 50-year member of the trade union movement, worked in the oil and gas sector as an IBEW member in Alberta for decades, seeing from the inside what goes on, and is now, of course, been for decades now, or a decade now, opposed to the kindergarten expansion, now the Trans Mountain expansion, and he'd like to share some of what he knows about bitumen, about the economics of the pipeline, and what it is to be from the inside. So welcome, Steve.
Hi, folks. Thanks for coming out, and thanks to the organizers for doing all the work it takes to put this together. As Derek said, I worked, I was an electrician, industrial electrician in oil field operations and refineries and gas plants and that. I basically just want to talk a little bit about the product and a bit about the money. And in oil sands operations, well, actually it used to be called tar sands, but the skin doctors brought it into oil sands now. I guess it sounds better. But the big foreign oil companies, and most of the companies working in extracting oil operations in Canada are foreign companies. Oil, that's Shell, Imperial Oil, Exxon. They come into Alberta and they can lease an oil sands lease for $3.50 a hectare. Once they pay that lease, they're allowed to extract as much product from below the ground as they can get. But their only cost is the cost of extracting it. And once they extract the tar sand, the oil sand, it's impregnated with sand, and so they wash it out and it becomes bitumen, which looks like roofing tar. It's very thick, and once they dilute the bitumen, once they have the bitumen, that's when they pay a 1% royalty. The Ralph Klein royalty in Alberta is 1% on any oil products priced below $40. That's natural gas.
If you could speak up a little bit.
Yeah. That's natural gas and oil, drilled oil, and the bitumen. So it's the 1% is not paid on the $100 barrel of West Texas Intermediate you see on the news. It's paid on the $10 barrel of bitumen. So we get 10 cents a barrel, and there's this mantra going like it's the big lie in the States. You've heard about that. The big lie in Canada is we have to get our oil to market. How many of you people have oil that you get to market? And I mean, we don't have any. And the lie is that once it comes out of the ground, we as Canadians don't own it anymore. It's owned by Shell and Chevron and Exxon because they extracted it. So when they ship it overseas and get a better price, we don't get any of that money. And the fact that they're piping it overseas, they want to get it offshore. And the reason for that is they don't want to pay guys like me to build upgraders and then make a product that can go to refineries and build refineries and can make finished product like diesel and gasoline. They don't want to pay higher royalties on upgraded product, and they don't want to pay Canadian labor, and they don't want to pay taxes in Canada. So the solution is to pipe it out. And not only are we letting them, we're stupid enough to build them a pipeline. Like, I know some fellas I talked to in Texas, and they don't believe me when I tell them we're building a pipeline to extract our resources and we're offshoring all our refinery and upgrading jobs. They think I'm pulling their leg. They say, that's not possible, nobody do that. You get shot down in Texas for doing that. And that's basically what we're doing. On the money side of it, there are 10 refineries in the Houston area, Houston, Texas, Deer Park, Deer Lake Park, or Deer Park it's called. And those refineries can refine 2.7 million barrels a day, total 10. They have a capacity of 2.7 million barrels. If they turn that bitumen that goes to the upgraders they built on the Texas coast, and then they get the refined product, the refinery grade crude from the upgraders. If they take that refinery grade crude, which originated in Canada, and they turn it into gasoline, they make a clear $60 US per barrel profit. $60 times 2.7 million every day. Why isn't that money made here? Think of what we could do with it. And if oil and gas is so important to Canada, well, what are we getting for it? In Saudi Arabia, they got oil and sand and nothing else. And they build beautiful big cities and infrastructure because they know their oil is going to run out and they're going to be the business centers of the world. Everybody's going to go there to do business. Beautiful, everything. In Canada, we got oil and sand and everything else. Water, wood, iron ore, nickel, you name it, we got it. And yet Canadians are struggling. And why? Why are we letting this crew in Ottawa, a bunch of them can't see past their noses in the next election? Why are we letting them run this show when they've got 80 years of showing they don't know how to do it? Really encouraged to see all the young people here because you're the people that are going to sweep these guys off the game board and get some new ideas and fresh ideas in there. That's what we need. And we need, where's our high-speed electric train that goes right across the country? $21 billion. All those people waiting for this goofy ferries, they could be SkyTraining it to Victoria. Where's our fully funded hospitals? Why do we have 6-month waits for an operation when there's $21 billion being spent? Something else, last summer when our province was burned to the ground, I was phoning the mayors of all the Kelowna and Merritt and all that and saying, why don't we get all the pipeline workers and all that machinery we got to put out the fire right now? Be out in 2 weeks. And guys like Terry Beach, I put that to him. Oh, and that. Why not? We got billions of dollars worth of timber burned to the ground and houses and people dying. But we're building a pipeline. And that's the insanity that's going around in this country. We need to stop it. And I'm encouraged to you young people like this lady here who speaks so well, are getting involved. And when you talk to other people, the people that don't know about the pipeline or think we need a pipeline, ask them if they're rich from oil and gas. Are they oil and gas millionaires? Are they wealthy from oil and gas? Because I don't know anybody rich. I work in the industry. And that's, it just doesn't make any sense. But I'll wrap it up and leave it at that. And I appreciate everybody listening to me rant.
I've learned so much from Steve over the years. Has anyone seen that video that he Okay, has anyone seen the video that Steve was part of that Sacred Trust did, I think? It was like, what is Dilbit? It's a short video. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. It's really good. It gives you that visceral gross feeling of like, you can't believe this is actually real. And considering a spill and yeah, what diluted bitumen really is. So next I'd like to invite Vijay Tupper to, Vijay is a high school student. And I've had the pleasure of meeting with Vijay a bunch of times. He's a couple things I know about him. He's really smart and he's an amazing organizer. He's also really young. And I'm truly like humbled to be introducing him. Just like, I wish I was like him when I was a high school student. And yeah, honestly, I'd like to go with that, Vijay. Thank you.
thank you so much to all the organizers to put this together. I know I'm standing up here, but I didn't really do all that much. I just kind of popped on a call at the last minute. Now I'm here talking to you guys. Also, can we get another round of applause for everybody who spoke before? Alright. I'm having flashbacks right now, because the last time I spoke in public was 5 years ago, so I was 11, and it was at a town hall where I was speaking out against the Trans Mountain Pipeline. Yeah. I don't remember where we were actually. I think we were out at the library, and I remember I was talking to Terry Beach, who had just recently been elected, and one of the biggest things he had promised us was that he would end the Trans Mountain Pipeline, because that's what we wanted here in Burnaby. Hasn't really happened, has it?
Not all the politicians are liars.
Yeah. And there's still an article out there floating around about when I did that speech. And the only thing they quoted from me was that I said there would be brown goop in Barnett if there was a spill. And you know what? If that's the last thing that people know about me, I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened was I forgot the word for trees. And so I just like sat there as an 11-year-old and like stuttered until some like kind old man from the back was like, the word's trees. But I've changed a lot since then. And, you know, 5 years is a lot to a person. But unfortunately, not a lot else has changed. Because I kind of hoped that that little thing and the little things that everybody did back then, when we canceled this pipeline, when we kicked Kinder Morgan out of here,
Yes.
with the end of this fucking fight. And look at this. What are we doing here, guys? Canada bought a pipeline that the industry knew would be a terrible investment. And they keep pumping money into it, even when we know it's not profitable. And we've known for months this PBO report is just the final nail in it. It's ridiculous, and I don't know why we have to keep doing this. And in fact, I'm so fed up with it that I now have a poster up in my room that says we should not have to do this. Because I just turned 17, and I've been organizing since I was 14. And nothing has changed. And every day I wake up and I do my work and I hope for a better future, and we are not getting a better future. So every day I just feel more and more disappointed. Now I'm going to check my notes because I forgot what I was going to say. But I keep doing it because I think it's important. And I think that if there is a hill to die on, it is this pipeline. Not just because of the financials, not just because of the climate crisis, not just because of the violation of Indigenous rights, but because of what this stands for. This pipeline is a symbol of a broken system that I am exhausted fighting. It is such a pain in the ass to know that your government doesn't represent you, that they don't care about you, that they're taking steps to make sure that you don't have a livable future. And I hate it. And so here I am doing more work, wasting my childhood. But the work that I've been doing has been pretty cool. I just co-founded a group called Youth Stop TMX, which is a collection of high school students with the direction of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, Cedar George-Parker especially, who have been going out and trying to educate the youth. Because not every teenager even knows that this project is around, unfortunately. So what we've been doing is we've been going school to school and doing presentations where we just explain what's going on, why this project sucks, why they should come out and help us. And we've now collected about 60 people in the last 2 months who have committed to coming out and helping to fight this pipeline. We've taken a hiatus for the summer, but next year we're going to come back stronger and we're going to keep building. And so I got to end on something, which is that it seems awful and it seems hopeless, but there is a spark, and that spark is in this room, and it's in all of you. And if we keep putting our energy into it, we keep bringing people into this fight, maybe we can end it once and for all, so I can finally just like enjoy myself for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. I just feel it in my heart. I feel it. I'm all the speakers, all the young ones here. I don't know, I guess we're probably all feeling it. Like it makes you feel really emotional in terms of how much there is to lose and also how brave and inspiring and committed they are. So yeah, thank you. I also want to mention we've got a whole bunch of people joining us online right now as well. So the Zoom has had, I don't know how, like people from all over too. And this Allison also from Climate Convergence here is handling our online.
Yeah, we've had about 50 people come through, a lot of positive and supportive comments. People actually from across the Lower Mainland who didn't feel comfortable joining us in this space. And I think it's going to continue to be important that we facilitate people however they can engage to come and engage. And also people joining from across some different states in the US, Idaho, Washington State, and Minnesota, who I've seen. So.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for organizing our tech as well. Yeah, so I just want to throw one little thing in there that's a little personal story, and then I'm going to call on Cedar to speak next. I was reflecting on my sort of getting involved in this movement, and while there's been a few stages of it, of me learning and coming to be more involved, it was when I joined Broke, actually, it's because I moved into Burnaby. I moved in and now share a wall with Broke, one of the Broke co-founders, Ruth Walmsley, in our co-housing. So I moved in, I was like, I live in Burnaby, I can join Broke. Those people that are always doing little things and they just don't give up, and and so I did. And I remember when I joined though, I totally didn't know where I fit. I didn't know what my piece was of this struggle at all. And it was like, I don't know, what should I do? I thought, maybe I'll try and write an article. Yeah, I'll write an article. And so I reached out to John Kreisel, who is a stream keeper, a Squamish person who's living on the island now, I think. But I reached out to John. I was like, John, if we do media, people will care. And then we can, but it just didn't go anywhere. But as a result, I developed a relationship with John a little bit, and so the next time I tried to do something, I was like, oh, maybe John can advise me. And he started advising me. And then it progressed and progressed to the point where now I'm getting to go out early in the morning and do nest finding and find birds that are stopping pipelines. That's a real thing. How did I get there? I know a hummingbird nest, that's gonna help. No, it didn't, I didn't plan it. None of this is planned. It's only because I dipped my toe in. I got in with an organization and I said, where do I fit? I didn't know where I fit. And so I was like, oh, but as soon as I stepped into just a teeny bit, I could feel the stream. I was like, oh, I could do that. And the next thing came available for me. And I think it's easy to feel daunted by not knowing where we fit in this movement. And right now I'm working a lot to try and uplift these young ones. I'm kind of behind a little bit, just like, oh, can I bring food for your meeting? What can I do? And yeah, these little things. I'm seeing them finding their places as well. A lot of them already know their places. So that's just my little motivational speech for even if you don't know where you're going. We all have these gifts we can offer, and you might not know what they are until you kind of step in there and start seeing where you go. So that's my piece. So I'd like to call Cedar George-Parker up now. Yeah, it's been a tremendous journey getting to know Cedar over the past couple of months and seeing. I know he's been around in the movement for a long time. But increasingly, his voice is in my dreams even. He's got this way of lifting up his friends and his people and bringing courage into their hearts. And over, he told me I could MC it. And he's got this way of bringing the teachings in as well, and the teachings of connection to the land and of the Tsleil-Waututh people, his nation. And I'm going to let him share more about him. But thank you, Cedar.
Yeah.
Tsleil-Waututh Sacred Trust, the Tsleil-Waututh Sacred Trust, the Tsleil-Waututh Trust, CM, Stevie Dot, Wavachin, Pachiaki. My name is Cedar George-Parker. I'm from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation and the Tsleil tribes. And as I was walking up, you know, today I was thinking about what to say, and I was walking up, and I saw the mountains. You know, I saw the mountains and the water today. And that's what defines BC. That's what defines our Coast Salish territory. Are the glaciers? Are the so many species of trees? Are the orca whales? The dolphins? And you know what, man? Even in Washington, we have an island, a very sacred island. There's no predators, so there's thousands of bunnies. Like there's thousands of bunnies. You know, that because the island is so rich with food, they can live on there with all the berries. Those thousands of bunnies can live, and it's a whole island full of bunnies. And I thought even that defines where we live. You know, the salmon. How rich we are with salmon growing up, I thought it was commodity food on the reservation. I thought it was commodity food because we had so much on the res and we ate so much salmon. I thought it was poor people's food because we're poor. And we ate a lot of salmon, and we ate a lot of oysters, we ate a lot of shrimp. And now I'm the first generation on my Tsleil-Waututh territory to say I can't eat off the land. I can't eat. The only thing I can eat is crab because of filters. You know, I'm the first generation to come on our waters here to do our ceremonies, and you can't. We dunk ourselves 4 times in the water, in the streams, and we can't because it's too toxic. We tell our children, on this land in beautiful British Columbia, Washington, you know, shared with Washington, the whole West Coast, you know what it is. You know, we tell our children not to go in the water, and because it's toxic. And so it's like, why am I doing this fight? You know, and I think of a defining moment of making change, you know, and us as Natives, sometimes being in these areas, we have to deal with a lot. And we have to deal with our own life. We have to deal with sticking up for the land, for the water. And we look at British Columbia, and over 200 species rely on salmon. In this part of the world, 200 species rely on the salmon. Not only us, you know, 200 species. And the Fraser River watershed is so big, it's so vast. I think it's the biggest in BC. And this pipeline goes through almost all of it. From Blue River all the way down, it takes 8 hours to drive up the Fraser River. And a pipeline still can happen anywhere from there on the way here. And it'll bring havoc to those 200 species that rely on the salmon. It'll bring havoc. But you know, then I really started to thinking, why do I really do this? And you know, I was in a high school shooting back in 2014, and my friends and family died. My friends and family died, and my best friends, you know, people I grew up with, the people I lived with, and I ran back because I wanted to save them, because we'll do whatever we can for the ones that we love. We'll do whatever we can for the ones that we love. And so I was driving through, my school is so big you can drive through, and I pulled on the e-brake. And I pulled on the e-brake. And right there and then it was that moment where I decided to do something for the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? It's we do this for the people that we love, and in that straight up moment, I pulled on my e-brake. I had a Honda Accord 1998, it was purple. On rims too, you know, I think it was on 20s. And now I just got little 18s on this one. But you know, I pulled the e-brake of my 1998 Honda Accord on rims. and I got out and my friends were screaming, and some of them had blood on them from the headshots that sprayed everywhere. And he looked, he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Those are the people we love. Those are the people we love." That's Jalen, Zoe, Gia, Shaylee, and Andrew. And I said, "Run." And they ran, and I walked back, and they're dead. They died, they all got shot in the head. And what really made me, I didn't cry for probably 6 years. And, you know, every night was hard. I had to get these things. I couldn't sleep, but it took me this, since 2014, it took till now to have to be able to sleep without waking up and like with my hands closed. And so then I thought about, why do I do this? And they didn't have enough money of subsidies for us to have counselors. They're only there for a week. And so a lot of kids didn't get counselors, but they have enough money. They have $30 billion for a pipeline.
Yeah.
You know, my people, like my cousins and my family across North America from different reservations, they don't have fresh water. They boil the water down. They don't have access to water, but they have $30 billion for a pipeline. This issue transcends a pipeline and environmental issue. And so I got angry because I learned about subsidies. It's not fair, I thought. And I wanted to create change. We all want to create change, and we do this. And then I really, really thought about it on the way here. I'm just gonna go off script. I thought about my little brother. I thought about my nieces and nephews, and I would sing to my niece and the baby and the mother of the womb. I would sing to her our songs of love, and I'd put complete love into the baby. And so she was crying on Christmas. She was crying and crying. Let me hold her. It was the first time I met her. She was born, I wasn't living in, I don't know if she was born in Vegas or Washington, but she came up and I held her and she was crying, and I sang her our songs. I sing those songs that come from the water. I sang her those songs. Oh, 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 eh, oh, 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 eh, oh, oh, yeah. And I looked into her eyes, and it's that moment that we look into our loved one's eyes that are tattooed in our heart. It's permanent. And I sang to her, and she didn't cry. And for probably 45 minutes, I sang to her song after song after song after song. And we stared in each other's eyes the whole time. And it's those moments that I get afraid to go on the front line that I bring myself back to and say, this is why we do what we do. This is why we do what we do. When we hold our babies, and we all have those memories of those babies, either it be our friends, our family, our own children. We all have those memories of when we're holding somebody, when we're holding a life, when it's our responsibility to fight for that young's future, either by holding it, feeding the baby, singing to the baby, holding the baby. You know, we think about those times that we love them. Think about, I want everybody to touch your heart. Really touch your heart. We're not afraid to run back in a school shooting as a teenager to save the ones we love. Hold your heart. Think about those people that you love. Think about those people that you love, that you would fight for their future, that you would fight for them to be alive, that you would fight for them to have a next generation, that you would fight for them so that they can live a life worth living, that we don't take what's theirs. We're borrowing the time of the future. We're borrowing their time right now. Whatever we implement into this society, they'll get. Whatever we put, it's their future. Hold your heart and think about those ones you love. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, everybody. Think about those people you love. Why we do this. Hold your heart. Sometimes I get afraid to go on the front lines, get afraid to go into the Amazon to fight those people. My ta'a was afraid in residential school where they sexually, mentally, physically, and spiritually abused her. The church did. We get afraid. She was afraid to get up on those front lines. Our people, our cousins in the Amazon, afraid to get shot. But they have those people in their heart to stand up for a new day. We do this for the people who came before us, like Uncle Len, who started this fight, Auntie Irene, who started this fight, our ancestors, our elders who fought for us to live. We do this for them, but we also do this for the ones who are to come next. If I really thought, and I held my little brother and it's this body, I hit my head and I had a little bit of brain damage. I thought I was gonna die going to the ER. And I remember the things that the elders would tell me. and I held his hand, and I thought I was gonna die. You know, I got a big scar. I was ready. I called, you know, in our culture, I called on my friends to come get me, to come to heaven or I called on my friends. But before that, I told my little brother, because I saved him, I picked him up and I saved him, and I crashed. I threw him out and I crashed and I flew and I moved a rock this big. I hit my head, and they're holding my head together like that. And there's so much blood, it felt like a shower. And I was losing blood. And I held his hand and I said, "Don't you pity me. Don't you ever pity me. I chose to do this. Don't you ever feel bad. I chose this. Today's a victory. Because if I can put my life on the line to save so that you can have a future, I'll gladly put my life on the line. And we'll gladly get up and fight for the Trans Mountain Pipeline, because there is no fear within our hearts when the ones that we love reside and live in our hearts. You dig? There's no fear when we get up on those front lines, when we stay up late. There's no fear. And so we turn that trauma into love. We find hope when hopeless and find learning in disparity so that we can create a better future where they can play in the water, where they can go into the mountains, where they can really, really enjoy beautiful British Columbia, where they can enjoy it, where they can have a future to look towards, where they can have a future and hold hands, where we can have a future where they can look down at their babies without a fear for their future. It's for them. This is why we do what we do as a people. This is why we stand up and say no more. This is why we're on the front lines for the ones that we love within our hearts, the ones that reside within our hearts is why we do what we do. Stand up. So we stand up. We stand up. And we fight. We stand up. So we stand up and do what ought to be done for those people. We come together. Our warriors come together. You know, nothing special about me. I just love working with good people. I love working with good people. I love the people I work with, and we start to create this new future together. You know, our warriors, our greatest warriors were the ones that love the deepest. You look at Geronimo, you look at even Chief Seattle, you look at all of our warriors across North America. And what they did was bring people together, and they shared their hearts. You know, what can we do together with open heart? And so we do this. You know, that's why we do what we do to win and survive, so that we can live in a land that's lush and beautiful, and we can live a beautiful life and a beautiful future. So I want to thank everybody here for coming out tonight. I really want everybody in here to, you know, meet at least 2 new people. There's some people in here I don't know. I'd like to meet you guys. Meet 2 new people, because when good people like this come together, change happens. It's just like for the babies in our family. When good people come together to raise that family, the baby's gonna grow up and feel good. The baby's gonna grow up and feel good, like this little girl right here. You know, oh, she's hiding again. She saw you. No, I'm just kidding. And you know that's why we do what we do. It's for those moments. It's to come together to create a better future, to create a life worth living, to create something better than what's happening right now. And we can do it together. And so I just want to leave off and say, you know, take care of yourself. You know, really, really love yourselves and take care of yourself. Heal yourself so you can become medicine for the people and shine a light so bright it can't be ignored. You know, so that we can be that medicine for the land and save those 200 species and save those orca whales. They live here too. If you ever get scared to speak up, think about this. The orca whales can't get up in the legislative building or in any house of law, any building of law, or any building of government and say, my babies are dying. You know, my babies are dying. We have to be the ones to get up and speak for them. So if you ever have that fear, think about that we not only have to speak up for us as a people, we have to speak up for also the orca whales, the salmon, and all 200 species that rely on the salmon, the wolves, the elk, you know, the bears, all of those, the deer, you know, the eagles. They have the same love for their babies as we do, but they can't speak our language. We have to be the ones to speak up for them. So if you ever get the fear, you don't know what to do, that anxiety, get up and think about those babies. Not only humans, think about our youth, not only humans, but the orca whales, you know, the orca whales. We have to do it for them also, but also while doing it for us. Because you know how orca whales talk, you know? I can't speak their language. Desiree can. But we can't speak their language. It's up, and they can't speak our language. They can't sit up here and debate. You know, like, hey, you watch Avengers Endgame? You know, they can't get up out of the water and do that. The baby was already died from pollution. The baby already died from their food dying. And the baby's already died, and the baby got pushed out for 2 weeks because of tanker traffic. And Trans Mountain will affect all three of those. It's gonna affect the world that we love. Every good memory I have of growing up is on this land. I know each and every one of you guys have memories that you love on this land, that you look back on. Let's do this for the ones that passed away, and let's do this for the ones that are yet to come. Let's do this together to create that future. Let's do this for that promise we made for when our babies were born. We held them in our hands, and we promised to protect them. Let's keep that promise, and let's do this together. Thank you.
I don't want to get out after Cedar. Thanks, Cedar. Let's do this. I'm just briefly going to say that most of this the event was organized by Growth, but also want to shout out to Climate Convergence, which I already acknowledged. Also, Mountain Protectors, Force of Nature, Protect the Planet, as well as big support from TSSU, which is the teaching and support staff in Minnesota. We've got 3 more speakers. I'd like to call up next Desiree, who Desiree works in the environmental nonprofit world, is a part of the youth movement, grew up around here, and I'm going to let you share your piece. Thank you, Desiree.
So I'd like to preface this by saying I don't speak a lot, but I was welcomed by other youth organizers here to kind of share my piece. My phone is about to die, so I did take some notes to speak, so I'll keep this short and simple. So yes, my name is Desiree. I grew up on the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Cottman Nations, which is what is now known as Richmond. I am first generation Canadian here, and my parents moved here from the Philippines. Kind of to give you a bit of background on that, the Philippines was colonized by the Spain for 300 years, and then after that by America for 50 years, and then after that the Japanese for like 2 years, and then we got what is called freedom right now, but you know how that looks like in countries that are like mine. So yeah, just to preface that, switching gears today, someone DM'd me on Instagram after sharing this event and asked me, why do you even care? Like, I never see anyone that looks like you doing this work. I like, they said that in nice way. They were kind of like, oh, like, I don't need to be like rude about it, but I'm actually very, very curious. Why do you do what you do? So a bit of my background, I went to UBC, like Lucy, had no idea, like I think you probably knew what you're doing, but I had no idea what I was doing there. I went to a school that had no funding. We were probably like the worst school in Richmond. Was super like randomly like, oh, what the hell, I got into UBC. And this is really funny because I was applying to Langara thinking that I would get into Langara,
And I accidentally, instead of applying for arts, I accidentally applied for Aboriginal studies. And I think it's really funny kind of looking back into where I am now, because since I went to UBC, I did a lot of environmental geography courses, I did urban planning, or urban studies, and I learned so much from Indigenous community leaders at UBC, and was able to partner with a couple working on food justice. And that kind of led me to thinking about food justice and climate equity, and where's my role in that as a Filipino settler. My parents had to leave Philippines because of the fact that they saw no future there. The Philippines, they say their greatest export is the labor. So Filipinos, my mom likes to say, wherever there's land, there's Filipinos. So that's why my parents are here now. They saw a future here on what is now known as Canada. And that being said, I did write a poem that I'd like to share. I know do not expect much, please, but
You got this.
Yeah, this is my poem. It is unnamed. I wrote it like last week after meeting with the youth organizers. Yeah, this land is my home. The rivers raised me and the oceans fed. My feet were cared for by the sand and the soil here. My face beams and shines in the sun. I have fun in the snow. And the native plants are my friends. I always cry whenever I'm done. I'm like, not this time. I swear to God, not this time. Always real shit. My parents do. This land is my home, but only because my parents had to leave theirs. There are the trees of the friend. The eagle was under. It's too harsh for my eyes. Oh, I missed the part. Here the northern stars lead me home, and the moon has kept me company. This land is my home, but only because my parents had to leave theirs. There, the trees are different. The angle of the sun there is too harsh for my eyes. The placement of the stars are foreign to me now, but I love the way those lands treat me and my ancestors. I love the abundance of love that I feel there. My diasporic heart aches for those islands across the Pacific, which were ransacked by imperial states, by the white men in power of the lands I call home here, the same people. Refueling their war machines, hungry for minerals, exporting our brown bodies for cheap labor. My parents moved to Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, Tsleil-Waututh, brought by promise. This land raised my parents around me here. How can I sit and watch it get destroyed? In a way, my mother's homeland were just put ill. Sorry.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh. How can we welcome a pipeline? How can we welcome destruction so stoically? I was welcomed, accepted by this land's people. I'm grateful, and I can do more than my parents ever could. I must. This land is my home. I must fight for her here. The rainforest burned, the interior floods, our kin, the sea creatures, our land cousins, even the bugs and mushroom networks. We must protect them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Desiree, for sharing and being so strong to share that with us. It was really wonderful, and I appreciate you so much. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Roke and some of the history, because this is actually an important summer this year. This is about 10 years ago. Roke was actually planning our first town hall just down the street at Confederation Senior Center because we were starting this fight. And since then, it's lasted nearly a decade, and people, core group of organizers have been working to meet almost every month to plan actions that engage with other groups to be sort of this nucleus here in Burnaby to say this pipeline must not happen no matter what. And there's been an evolution in that in our organization over time. Initially, we started with a lot more informational events, trying to convince politicians and everyone, hey, this is just the right thing to do. We should stop this thing. And over time, though, many Roke members have had to realize that we have to do more and take it up to direct action and other tactics as well. And the scope of what our folks have done have been involved in all those over the decades. And I think that's important to recognize this is a generational fight now against climate change and now really to stop this pipeline. From the labor movement, there's a song that I really like. We can take to all of our fights. We're not gonna, may not win this battle today, but we're gonna all keep doing what we can to stop the pipeline. We're not gonna build a pipeline, we're gonna stop the pipeline. And we're gonna do this. So we can save the planet. We can change things. So next up, our speaker, I heard DJ earlier talk about Hill to Die On, and this speaker has been one of our longtime Coast members, and he literally has a lot of mini terms. If you live with me up on Burnaby Mountain, which is literally a hill to die on when it comes to this pipeline, because of tank bombs there and the explosive chemicals that are ready there to burn us all up. And Carl Barron, I'd like to welcome you up. So please talk about that. My name is Carl Barron. My mother was born in 1911 in Arkansas. My father was born in London, England. And then in 1915 was forced to move back to Germany, where his parents were from. So I've been fighting climate change since 1993, and I'm going to continue until 2030, and then I'm going to say I did my best. So Roke started in 2010, but it was 2015 when we found out about the danger of the tank farm. So how many of you live within, say, 10 kilometers of this area? Okay, how many live in 5 kilometers of this area? Okay, so this is for you because the tank farm is very, very dangerous, and this has been confirmed by experts both from Canada and from UK, and the head of Emergency Management BC in the Ministry of Public Safety has confirmed all these details that I'm going to tell you. So this is from a letter that I wrote to honor the Minister of Environment and Climate Change Strategy, George Heyman, and MLAs Katrina Chen and Janet Rutledge. And I've left out a bunch of stuff because I don't want to keep you here too long, but I'll just tell you my brain doesn't remember stuff like these young people, so I've got to write things down. In 2015, we got a wake-up call from Chris Bocock, now Burnaby's fire chief, who wrote a scathing report on the extreme dangers of the proposed Burnaby terminal tank farm expansion, adding 14 new tanks to the very old 12 tanks. The proposed 14 tanks were to be crowded into the same perimeter as the existing tanks, and they would be dangerously close to each other. If one tank had a full surface fire, the heat radiating to adjacent tanks could ignite them into a domino effect, and that could lead to a boilover, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Fire Chief Chris Bocock pointed out that the intersection of Gallardy Way and Burnaby Mountain Parkway, the only exit roads from our home and from SSU, would be blocked by toxic smoke coming up from the tank farm. And the firefighters could not be positioned above the fire, and the intersection would be blocked, leaving 30,000 of us stuck in our homes and classrooms
shelter in place for 2 to 4 days while the fire burns itself out. Shelter in place means closing off all outside air and taping windows and doors. Unfortunately, my wife is allergic to smoke and would undoubtedly suffocate. Fire Chief Chris Bocock's 2015 report also described a sulfur dioxide cloud emanating from the fire for 5.2 kilometers in all directions. 5.2 kilometer radius of that sulfur dioxide cloud. And sulfur dioxide, when it mixes with water, becomes sulfuric acid, which is acid rain. And if it gets in your eyes and the moisture there in your throat, then you've got acid rain in your body. The heaviest concentration of sulfur dioxide would be at the Forest Grove Elementary School, 200 meters from the tank farm, and would kill half the students according to a Trans Mountain Risk Assessment map. Trans Mountain says the chance of that happening in a given year is 1 in a million. However, they didn't take into consideration the possibility of an earthquake triggering a tank fire due to the sloshing of the tank contents, especially in the 1953 floating roof tank. So just to explain that, the ground motion under the tank causes the liquid inside the tank to slosh up on the side. And the fixed roof tank prevents the tank from misshaping. But the floating roof tank, the 6 floating roof tanks from 1953, first off, their welding is questionable. Second, they never passed any seismic analysis whatsoever because there weren't any seismic earthquake regulations at that time for tanks. They're built as water tanks, basically. And the movement of the contents, the heavy bitumen inside, would cause the shape of the tank to go from round to oval. It'd be deformed. And the roof, what's happened in 3 locations, I'll tell you in a minute, what happens is with the roof moving back and forth, it's still round, and it hits against the sides of the oval tank, and that spark starts fire. So in Japan, in Turkey, and in Alaska, with those floating roof tanks, every time there's an earthquake, then those floating roof tanks have started fires. Given a 70% rate of asthma in adults, 7% rate of asthma in adults, and 30,000 people trapped on Burnaby Mountain, sheltering in place for 2 to 4 days, I estimate a 50% death toll of those with asthma, especially if the earthquake breaks windows. But then, you know, the earthquake happens, the people are trying to shelter in place, keeping all the air out so that they don't get smoke inside. And then the windows break, well, then you've got no protection whatsoever. So that's 1,100 students, faculty, and older residents, including my wife, who would die or have permanent injuries. Local and international experts agree that the proposed Trans Mountain Tank Farm expansion should not be built. Simon Fraser University commissioned a study which determined increased risk to the SFU community from tank farm expansion. And SFU President Andrew Petter called for tank farm expansion to stop. Very weakly, I would add. Furthermore, since the 6 1953 floating roof tank would cause a tank fire in an earthquake, possibly a massive forest fire on Burnaby Mountain, and a boil over, they should be demolished. The old 1953 tanks were never considered in any assessment of proposed tanks and are far from meeting the 2015 Building Code of Canada seismic standards. One doesn't store kindling, this is John Clark's quote, one doesn't store kindling next to a wooden house, nor blasting cap next to dynamite. And you've got these 6 old tanks right next to these 14 new tanks. To build new tanks squeezed against 1953 floating roof tanks is just asking for trouble, a whole lot of trouble. And I'll just add in terms of climate change, there's a professor, I can't think of his name, at SFU, who was hired by the city of Vancouver around 2014 to do an assessment of how much greenhouse gases would emanate if the expansion is completed and the pipes are full and delivering 900,000 barrels per day of diluted bitumen. And he figured that if you took 95% of that, that there would be the equivalent greenhouse gases of 20 million cars on the road every day. Wow.
Thank you, Carl. I almost feel like not thanking you for that, though. That was really distracting. Wow, yeah, it's a big hazard, big risk. So I'm conscious of the time. I want to invite Molly up next, but I also I wanted to check in with folks. We want to have time for like question and comments afterwards. And Tom has something that he wanted to gift. So I'd like to actually wait until after. I want to hear from Molly first, and then you and I can check in and see if we've got time for that too. So Molly, I don't know how to introduce you. Do you want to introduce her? Can you? Yeah, can you introduce her? Yeah. Go, Peter. Yeah. Do it. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to introduce Molly. She's done a lot of work out in Ottawa, across Canada, and now she's in Vancouver. And from talking to you, I think your connection to the land is really strong. Always going to do the hikes and always going to the water. And so it's that connection to the land that really, really brings us and moves us forward to fight for the land, right? Having that connection brings us Indigenous people to fight for the land. And I really encourage everybody in here to go connect to the land, like Molly has. Go connect to the beautiful land here, the mountains, the glaciers, the water, the lakes, the ponds, tailing ponds, no, I'm just kidding. Go cleanse it now. And so I just want to welcome Molly up to the stage. Thank you.
Hello. So like Desiree, I've not done a lot of public speaking ever, and it really terrifies me. I'm holding Stacey's tobacco, like gripping it. It's really sweaty. So thank you, Stacey, for the tobacco. It's calming me down. Basically tonight, I've heard a lot of hope in this room, and I've also heard a whole lot of pain because it's just messed up right now. Like, we're in an inflation crisis, we're in a housing crisis. A lot of Canadians are having to choose between food on their table and paying rent. There's this thing that's happening also, and it's just a lot. And I don't really know where it ends. But something that I do know is the power of just stepping into meaningful human relationships. And that is the only antidote that I have found to pain and despair. And the thing about movements like this, about TMX and about every movement, is that it does that. They bring you into really deep and meaningful relationships with lots of people. And these are people that you may not normally encounter in your daily lives. And they're really, really beautiful people who care a lot. They're people like Prince is there, who shows up to every single protest with this beautiful sign around his neck and sings songs and gets the whole crowd so joyful. And it's people like Stacey, who brings a whole Ziploc bag full of tobacco and hands it out to everyone, and just saving my life right now. And it's people like Lucy, who just come up here and pop off about everything there is to know about TMX. And it's people like Cedar, of course, and it's people like Desiree, who gets up here and performs this beautiful poem and then starts crying, and then Cedar does the Cedar thing and calms her down, and Lucy. And everyone, all I'm trying to say is that the strength and the bonds that are formed in these movements are so, so powerful. And so I want to invite everyone here who's not in this to come and join us, because we need every kind of person with every single skill set. And everyone has a role to play, because everyone has a gift. And even if you don't think you have a gift, you do. Cedar always says that the most important gift is to be kind to children. And in our world, for some reason, people don't really think that's a gift. It's very external, like, can you shred a guitar or something? I don't know. But not being good with children is also an amazing gift. But yeah, because the people who are building this pipeline only have one currency and they only care about one thing, and that's money. And our currency is relationships, and that's way more powerful, and that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for a world in which we're fighting for a safe, healthy future where these beautiful relationships can flourish, where we don't have to worry about just living our lives and getting out there and meeting people and connecting to the land. And that's where we want to go. And that's what it's about for me. So everyone here in this room, I think we're all on the same side, and we have to stand up against the people who are trying to rob that future away from us. So I invite you all to join us. You can join our mailing list and stay in touch and updated about our events. And we're going to be hosting events and doing direct action all summer. So please join us. Do it for the orca whales and do it for the water and the air and the Indigenous rights, but also do it for the people that you will meet who will change you in really beautiful ways that you may not even know. So,
awesome. Thank you, Molly. And just before we get to you, Thomas, just a couple things to share. So you've heard all of this, you've heard all these amazing youth speak. And I gotta say, like, there's a big group of youth, actually. So these are just a couple. They've been meeting, so many meetings and so many creative projects. They've got a couple of different working groups. And I think, like, one of the questions I think many people are asking right now is, like, actually, how can I help? So we have a couple of things coming up. For sure, there's a fundraiser happening. That's I think it's a tiny art fundraiser. There'll be a little tiny art for sale and speakers and other things. I think that's scheduled for Saturday, July 23rd at Waututh, Cape Park. Yeah, I think it's the 23rd. Just changed. Maybe. It was going to be the week before. So you need to be on our mailing list, our mailing list, if you want to find out when. I think it's the 23rd, though. And there's also a week of action happening that's banking on a better future, which is also a youth movement. And they're working together. So there's more targeting banks, more direct action stuff targeting banks. The last week of July 24th. And also the last piece I would say, and this I don't have an answer for exactly, but I really believe that the different organizations need to figure out, like, what is it that your organization does really well, and how can you get behind these young ones? Like, don't invent your own stuff. Get behind these young ones. Figure out how you can feed into what they want for their future, and because they're the ones that are bringing the change now. Yeah. And so we need to figure out how we get behind them. That's what I think. So, yeah. So let's talk. Yeah, let's talk, show up, get to know each other. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do, now Tom, come.
Sure, I'll introduce myself.
Tom.
Yeah, I've got 5 minutes, so I'm going to be quick. My name's Tom Hetherington. Some of you are old enough to remember me when I was a politician in North Burnaby. I ran several times and lost with Green Party and for other events. The reason that I'm here today, well, I'm for a long time Burnaby resident. I'm not anymore. I live just down here on Barnett Road. Been around Broke, except from the beginning, and they've been inspirational. The reason that I'm here today is that I was was in the United Kingdom for 4 months until very recently. I was volunteering for Extinction Rebellion, and we engaged in over 30 actions of various sorts. One of the actions, we went to Lloyd's of London, which insures the insurance company, with the demand that they stop insuring new fossil fuel companies. One of the banners that we held during that time went on the floor here. You'll notice that there are 2 hummingbirds on the banner. Well, our artists in the United Kingdom saw your good work with the hummingbirds, and I just kind of told them the story about Burnett River and that kind of thing. So they engaged them. They put them on this banner. The artists have asked me to give it to you as a sign of solidarity and as a way of letting you know that your voice is heard in London, England. That your voice is heard on the steps of Buckingham Palace. and your voice was heard on Westminster Bridge. So the way George would do it, like it, I'll just hold it up. How I'd like to finish is just 20 seconds, okay? You can do it. Hey, hey, ho, ho, TMX has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, TMX has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, TMX has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, TMX has got to go. Anybody wants to video of our action? It's really cool. Yeah, I think I posted on Cedar Morgan. We had 30 drummers occupying the stairs going to London, and we shut it down all day in your name. Awesome. Thank you so much for the amazing banner. And I think you will find amazing uses for it. Thank you for around the many activities to come. This is the end of our program for tonight. We do have the hall for a little while longer. And what I thought would be a great way to end the night is actually to put a Cedar call to ask for people to meet, to end the night by meeting with these human people, right? There's so many folks here, we've heard from so many. So we'd ask for you to find some others in the room, have a conversation, maybe exchange details, maybe go outside if you prefer to do that, if you're more comfortable. But meet these two new people before you end tonight and commit again to what actions you're going to take this summer to stop this pipeline. We also have all sorts of materials in the back. Please feel free to grab some, including some posters. And I think there's one more thing we need to.
Yes, I'm running with the pass ahead.
Excellent. Yes.
I'm running with the pass ahead. We can pass ahead going to the young ones. So I'm gonna like pass it around.
Because actually that always does cost money to keep these sites going. They keep resources, supplies, all that needed. So please donate if you can. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to all the speakers for everything you've done. Tech support, everyone. And please have.
You want to make an announcement?
Oh. Thank you, and with the prayer. Perfect. And
it would be great. The question was, is there a way for people to donate online? And I don't know yet.
We're going to set it up with
really soon. Yeah. It's going to be set up really soon. We'll check the,
we're making it.
if you signed up to get it.
If you signed up, you'll get an email, we'll give you an invitation to the website. Cool. And those signing forms at the front desk, you can write in there and go, I can just go for it.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. Welcome with Cedar George-Parker. We're going to ask our dear relative Stacy to end us off with a prayer. And just really, hey. And so we're going to ask Stacy to end us off with a prayer. Stacy really put it down for this movement and for this fight. And so give it up. We don't clap right now. You might get this. That's really different. So Anin Abuju Dishikosti Sigal Whistlewin, Gichimaquam Quanzo Dam Anishinaabe, Wabanong, Serpent River NLG. I just thought to mention that. So then what I will say is, I'm very grateful. I want to thank the hollow bones that we're walking on here. These are very ancient lands, like hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of years, to my dear relatives that have been here. And as a guest here, that I walk in the very best way, and I make sure that I get permission. Anything I do, except raise my hand for the washroom, is to go through the Tahas and the dear families that are here. I just wanted to, it's always good to, end with some goodness to add on to everything here, so that we can just come back to ourselves. And want to thank your ancestors, Achieving Glitch for your ancestors for doing the difficult works so that you can continue on doing the work like my dear relative said about those babies that we will never be. 7 generations from now. As my sweetheart I mentioned to you all the time is, I'm just an extension of a prayer that happened, well, more than 7 generations ago, and I believe that for yourselves too, because it's not about me. This has nothing, it's not about me, it's about those that are coming. And it's not just the human family, so that, however it is that you do in this moment, you know, we're always mentioning about your wellness. You know, as hosts here, we'll say that as guests, we have a responsibility for you, and you're supposed to be here because you left very tough situations, and you're here you're so strong that you're supposed to be here in this moment. I wasn't strong enough to be one of the hundreds of thousands of children that are being uncovered. They were strong enough for that moment. I'm not strong enough to be my daughters right now that are, you know, that are they don't want to have children because of this. I'm not strong enough to be them. I'm strong enough to be in this moment. And so, 7th generation or the 8th fire where I come from, you're so very sacred that that's why you're still here. You have many gifts and purposes, and that's as collective of that sacred group, or sacred circle that we're all in together. I can't do what you guys do. I can't organize a meeting. I don't have the ability to do some things. And so when we do that all together, and so I just want to acknowledge all of you and your ancestors for the tough work that they've done, and for your ancestors that are coming. We are the ancestors that we've been looking for. It's my responsibility. It's not a right. Those are written on paper. I have a great responsibility to care. And I want to thank you, or Shimigwich in my language, for doing this work to take care of my daughters, because it's very hard for me to do it alone. And for that young baby over there that's so sacred, that was playing peekaboo this year, I want to acknowledge the Tsleil-Waututh Nation that I could be gentle and do this work on here, because these territories of medicines are so strong, it was able to save my life. So as far as reciprocalness of liberty, yes, English, dead language. Now, you know, I felt it great too, and I was grateful because it's not my language. Thank you, Tom, for bringing that from there and everything that everybody's doing. And in my language, Chimigwich, there's a couple of meanings, is I see and acknowledge that divine sacredness that you're part of to help me is one. Pretty cool, eh? Thank you is egotistical, I think. Likes and loves and stuff. Or Chimigwich means done enough. We've done enough. So however you want to take it, or the words thank you. So Chimigwich, you've done enough today. Maybe be gentle with yourselves and meet a couple of people. Okay? 2, 3. Unlimited. And make sure to take care of yourselves when you're feeling that funk. I don't think Mother Earth deserves that funk given to her. We've already done enough. So whatever it is you do for your well-being, to take care of yourself. If there's anything that you would like, we have purification ceremonies to brush up. You can walk under a cedar. Maybe not this one. It's too tall. And the living branches, you just walk under it and brush yourself with that. You don't have to snap off a twig. And just, brush yourself down with that sacred cedar. Whatever it is that you do for your well-being, if it's journaling or if it's, you know what that is. So I just wanted to mention that because we care so much about you. We don't, the prophecy said that we were to do this alone. And then we want you to be nice and strong so you can take care of us, we can take care of you. All my relations. Yeah. All hands down. Fingers out. I think
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you. This is Allison with Climate Convergence. Thank you for being with us here tonight and for struggling through some of the sound issues. As you can tell, the hall is quite echoey. And we also had the sound system malfunction that someone brought. Thanks for staying tonight. It was great to see you all. I'll go ahead and let everyone turn on their cameras if you'd like to just wave at each other or post something in the chat. It's been great to have you here, and we will see you all very soon.